Christmas.
All right, if I could go ahead and have everybody's attention. I'd like to go ahead and open up the Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020 Warrenton Board of Aldermen meeting. As always, participating in social distancing in the annex building, masks and social distancing is required, and seating will be limited. To participate in the video conference, join the Zoom meeting at https://zoom.j/zoom.us/956-2748536. Just participate in the meeting ID is obviously that same number. To participate in the conference call, please call 312-626-6799. Same meeting ID. So with that, if you would, please rise with me for a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item will be the consent agenda.
We have the regular and executive meeting minutes from October 20th, 2020, and the work session minutes from October 28th with the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be hearing from the public, or anyone on Zoom, for that fact. We ask that you step to the podium if you're in person, state your name, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Or same way on Zoom, if you contact on Zoom, we will have somebody who watches for that. Let us know and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak, but we also want you to state your name on Zoom clearly and precisely, please. Okay, not seeing anybody, we'll move on. Next will be Board of Aldermen comments.
Okay. First, I'd like to congratulate Chief Ellard and his staff on the final component of the CALEA process. I know that was a huge job. It's a huge accomplishment. So thank you for all of your efforts in that. I'm glad that we put something out to our community about the pet food pantry. I was excited to see that this is off the ground and that so many of our homeless pets have found homes. And other than that, I hope everyone voted today. And if you didn't get your choice or don't get your choice, please continue to be kind. That's all I have today.
That's a good way to put that.
Mayor, the newsletter that just we got tonight, the food pantry project on the front of that is very, very well done. And I think even the entire booklet is very well done.
I do enjoy it. I agree. I think every time it comes out, there's something more I enjoy about it.
Great, I'll pass that along.
I think it's got better since the Alderman stopped putting articles.
Well, we're not going to say that.
Oh, well, we just did.
So there again, any other comments? So during the workshop meeting, I did bring up something I wanted to address. I know we're having issues, and I know there's some people in the room that have dealt with issues with young individuals, either scooter or skateboarding on some of the sidewalks that we've just recently redone, hanging from awnings, what be it. If you could pass it along, the promptness that at least that night the police officer addressed it with the children wrote down their names and stated that they were very familiar with the homes and that they'd be addressing the parents. I appreciate that.
I will do so.
It
Thank
could
you,
have been
Mayor.
an ignored issue, and it wasn't. They were at least there to address it. Ongoing issue, I think from further, we probably need to talk to a lot of the owners to how much it's actually happening that maybe we're not aware of, and start addressing it a little more, as we did with the juvenile nuisance issues we had in the past, and addressing the fining and what be it to kind of maybe put a hamper on that.
While we're on that particular subject, are we having vandalism problems at the parks now at all? Or is that kind of,
Brett, aren't you on Zoom?
I don't think he's on anymore.
Okay. I am not aware of anything in the last couple of weeks, but prior to that, we had quite a few instances for a period of time. Brandy, are you aware of anything different than that?
I am not since all of those.
Yeah, so we had a significant rash of it, and then it seemed to, knock on wood, quiet down, so nothing recent.
okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right. I believe the next item would be to approve the Main Street Festival, an event permit for the Hometown Christmas through WDA. Is that correct, Melody?
Good evening. This application, as you're aware, we postponed it at the last meeting for WDA. We have since, I wanted to make it clear first off that the application was submitted to the city on time. The process, unfortunately, with our city staff was not done correctly per the most recent ordinance. We have put procedures in place to not have this happen again. We have part of the procedures that we've put into place is the report that you have in front of you tonight that shows the answers to all the questions that are asked on the ordinance of WDA and of city staff, as well as of the Aldermen. And we have answered all of those questions for you. And we have also gathered everything from WDA for this event. So that being said, this is an event that they have each year, Hometown Christmas, downtown. They have asked to get approval for this again this year, and it's a family-friendly event, so they don't have vendors or anything like that down there. It is going to be on December 5th from 4 to 8, and they request the streets to be closed from 3 to 8:30 to allow for setup and tear down. And I believe that Maggie Hawsey is there, and she is going to go over a couple of pointers of things that they're going to try to do differently this year and new things that they're going to bring in for this celebration. So she's there to kind of demonstrate and do a little short presentation for you.
Hello, I'm Maggie Hazy, Marketing Director in Events, and this is Lori Miller with Events. So just put together a quick little brief just rundown of our event. This has been going on for 20 plus years. It's changed over the years, and we're excited to bring on some new things this year. So just as she said, 4 to 8 is the time frame. We wanted to do it a little bit later to have it kind of that hometown dark candlelight type feel. But we are really excited that we are going to be doing a lighted parade this year. So that will start at 5. We have people in place to kind of be the check-in point for safety. These will be non-street legal vehicles for safety. That may change in the future. This is our first time, so this is kind of like Jonesburg, kind of like Washington, Missouri. We feel like it'll really bring a vast amount of people down and kind of have that hometown feel, which is our theme. Do you want to talk a little bit about the route with that? I mean, it's just literally just up the street. It's not, it doesn't go through the city.
We're going actually up the street versus down the street, primarily for safety, just in case we have kids on bikes and different motorized vehicles. We don't want kids flying down that hill. So I thought if we go up the street, it kind of slows everybody down a little bit so that we don't have catastrophe with that. And then we were also kind of hoping that we could use this back lot, which I guess is right there. I'm kind of turned around.
Yes.
Back there, because we're going to have a lot of vehicles with trailers. So if we could have that availability, I know it's a public lot, but just to kind of forewarn you that we're going to kind of try to place them there so that if you have a golf cart or something like that, you've got that availability for that lot with your vehicle and your trailer, if that makes sense.
And we will require pre-registration so that people aren't just randomly showing up. We'll know what type of vehicles, and then it's required that it's lighted, so that's kind of the whole point, and holiday festive. We will also be doing Christmas tree lighting. The Historical Society has given us a bigger and better tree this year, they said, so we'll do that at Show and Gertz. And I believe there's a picture of the mayor in there at some place in his festive outfit from last year. With there he is. So we will do the contest again. That young gentleman was the one who pressed the button to light the tree.
Yes.
And that was really popular, so we'll bring that back as well. And Show and Gertz, like I said, they're going to let us do that there. And then something we're adding this year that we're really excited about is after the tree lighting, we want to do a hometown Christmas stroll where everybody kind of walks together, kind of back down towards the courthouse in that area. The goal is really to bring awareness to all the businesses on Main Street and services. And the candles will not be real candles, they're LED, so we're thinking of safety. And those can be purchased through stores, but some other things are going to be the different Christmas scenes that we'll have that people can just do selfies with or photo ops.
And we're working on a scavenger hunt.
Oh, yes, I
Which,
forgot to
yep,
put that on
which
there,
will promote people to get inside the actual stores. So each key that they might find is going to be located in one of the small businesses. Probably, don't tell anybody, I guess I'm telling everybody. But, but we're going to try to place them in the stores, in the shops. And so that promotes people actually coming in, looking around. Oh, I didn't even know this place existed. So that's kind of the whole purpose of that scavenger hunt.
We've had vendors in the past, like you talked about, Randy, with the street and us doing the parade. We decided we're not going to have them on the street. Plus it's cold. I wouldn't want to be sitting out there. And the whole goal is to drive people into the businesses. We may add vendors, a couple of them inside a couple of the other places. That's going to be up to those individual businesses if that's allowed, but that's the plan. That way we don't need extra street lights or what have you, so.
We have Christmas music playing out down where you'll be able to hear it all the way up Main Street.
We're hoping, and she actually is contacting the band.
They would like to march.
band.
They would like to actually start the parade.
Yes.
The high school band. So.
Last year we had the a cappella group, and we're working on that as well. And then Brenda Sue is working on some character actors for us. A lot of them are busy during that time, so we don't know if we'll be able to get those, but just really kind of make it kind of that old feel and yes, and have music. So
Music
if you'd like to
adds
come
a
out and
lot
sing,
to
that'd be
it.
great.
Yeah.
How far would, where will the
Gary.
parade start and end at?
So
I think we want to start, we haven't solidified everything because a lot of it's got to do with parking issues and safety issues. But ideally, we'd like to start pretty close to City Hall, just because you have that lot right there where everybody can kind of acclimate, between the jail and the City Hall. The other thing too is there's a lot of safety with you being right there by the police department. We feel comfortable with the kids being down there, with the folks being down there. So that's where we kind of like to start and then kind of move up towards
Show and
Gertz.
Questions?
Maggie, this is a free event for families and children, correct?
It is. All of our photo ops, that kind of thing. I know Lindsay J Photography, she will have an actual inside, and so she may charge, but she's a business, so she can do that within her store. But all of the different, like the Winter Wonderland scene, pictures at Show and Gertz, that kind of thing, they can come down. There's no charge to get into the street. And, our hope is at 4 o'clock, people are lining up on the street, saving their spot for the parade. So we've already heard a lot of really great feedback and kind of the things we've been talking about in the community, wanting to do a lighted parade, and everybody is so excited about that.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Where's it going to end? At what?
So the hope is after the candle stroll, at that point, people can just go in, do shopping, have dinner. So that will kind of go from Schoengert's, once the tree is lit, back down the street.
But where's the parade going to end?
At
And where-
Schoengert's.
Oh, at Schoengert.
Well, kind of up in that general area.
Towards this, like, the street, I guess the street after, which would be.
Is that US
yes.
title right there on that corner?
Well, no,
Well,
that's not at
one up from
Schoengert's.
there.
They'd have to go all
Somewhere
the
by
way.
Tri-County,
Okay, yeah.
in that
Yeah.
area.
And our thought is they can either, if they're bicycles or something that's relatively small, of course, we don't want them on the main streets. But they can come back, turn around and wait, come back down the closed street.
Okay.
If they're in a golf cart or a vehicle, they might be able to squeeze through that alleyway or something. It's only 3 or 4 blocks, and everybody's gonna kind of know that what's going on.
Okay.
So,
Because that's a one-way there at Frieden's, so I don't know,
but I think if they
Yeah.
went on the other side, I think they should be able to squeeze through, no?
Towards Walton.
Okay.
There's really no way
They'd
to
have to
get
turn
towards
around at
Walton.
Friedman's.
no,
So-
you can't get to Walton through there.
Yeah,
There's
you'd
no
have to stop
street.
it at US Title to get to Walton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not at Schoengert's yet, so, okay. Sounds good. Sounds
excited.
exciting, yeah.
We were trying to come up with things because of COVID, something A, outside, something B, because everybody, a lot of folks, they don't have the extra money this year with Christmas coming.
Right.
Something that, ideally, that they could go out to their garage and they could find a bike, or they could find a riding lawnmower, or they could find something that they already have, maybe spend a few dollars on some extra lights, and they could participate. That was what the goal was, something that was outside, that was relatively inexpensive, something that they already have, that they could participate.
A lot of people already have the LED candles. Can you put out something that they can bring their own? They don't have to purchase something if they have something like that they already own, to bring those along with them.
Right.
And
they're going to be very minimal, like, I think we said like $1.50 or something.
$1.50 or
Okay.
something.
So we're not charging to like make money on that.
Right.
It's purely just
Right.
cost. And then we're hoping to really cross, the first question everybody asked when we brought up the lighted parade, are you doing it on the same day as Jonesburg? That's the first question. So we're not, but we're hoping to really cross promote and really kind of that small town community, and hey, we're gonna, shout out for yours, you shout out for ours, and hopefully people can go to both, so.
And Jonesburg's actually the night before.
Correct.
So we're hoping that people will keep all their stuff already on
And
theirs.
just come on down to ours.
And then come down to ours.
oh, great idea. That's
We're
good.
hoping.
Sure. Okay.
I'd like to thank both of you ladies for spearheading this project.
Well, thank
I think
you.
it's going to be very, very good.
We're very excited to build on what's been done in the past, so.
I think everybody is kind of anxious to get outside and move around. The last event we had was surprisingly, just had a huge amount of turnout, and I think a lot of it is that people felt safe because it was mostly outside, and they're just anxious. They're just had enough of this. So I think this will be a good
I
year to
think
do
that was evidenced by Halloween.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I've never seen so many kids in my life. Good.
Any other questions or comments? We'll entertain a motion to approve the Main Street Festival, the event permit for Hometown Christmas.
So moved.
Move.
Second.
Going with Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Dyer?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be hearing from our City Administrator, Terry Thorne.
The only thing I have for you this evening is an update on the timeline for the Highway 47 project. Based upon conversations with MoDOT this last week, it appears that we're going to be right on target with what we originally thought as far as timeline. So the clearance for right-of-way should be completed by February 2nd. We are down to 2 parcels right now that we're still working on. One of those, it appears as if we're going to get that taken care of in the near future. And the last parcel is still sort of up in the air. It's not a situation where someone has refused, but it was related to the person owning the parcel and there was a death. And so it's a bit of a situation just trying to get that all cleared up and straightened out. So we still feel like we're going to make the timeline, allowing that clearance to happen February 2nd, with advertisement for bids on February 18th of 2021. Bid letting to occur on March 18th of 2021. And the start of the project happening sometime around the end of March or 1st of April. So I think next year, early next year in spring, we will actually see this project starting with some evidence that the public can see that it's happening. So, you know, so far so good. Everything seems to be going along. We've had to have the engineers go back and do some updates to their drawings in order to get accommodations for some of the property owners. So I think you're going to be seeing in the near future a slight increase in the engineering fees, but still well within the budget that we set with MoDOT. But we're glad that we've been able to get this far with getting all of those right-of-ways and easements taken care of. So,
Go ahead, Gary.
So they have a projected starting date. Is there a projected ending date?
maybe I have that. Completion date of approximately 1st of November 2021. Now, a lot of that will depend on rain in the spring, you know, all those things that play into it, but I think there's a very high likelihood that definitely by the end of 2021, the project would be completed.
Is there an indication from the state that they have the funding available? Because that was a concern, we'd go faster and the state had the funds available. Does that seem to be an issue again?
That's actually why they were having the discussion recently, as the state was inquiring as to where we were, so that they could go ahead and set those funds aside. So yes, by the time we're ready to start construction, their funds will be in place and it's all going to work out well in the timing. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Director of Operations, Brandy Walters.
Good evening again. So I have for you tonight this year's property liability and crime bond insurance renewal. The property and liability had a general 7% rate increase for this year, and their renewal rate is $178,361. And then the crime bond is $645, which is pretty close to what it was last year. And that brings our total for approval tonight of $179,006.
Any questions on that?
Just for the record, how often do we bid out insurance? Or do we have a policy, or do we just?
We do. I believe it's every 5 years.
Okay.
I'm
Julie's
pretty
saying
sure it's
6.
3 or 5. I think it's 5.
Julie's saying 6.
6.
Julie's here.
Oh, I was completely wrong. Sorry.
Where are we at in that cycle, just out of curiosity?
Did you hear that question, Brandy? Where are we at in that cycle?
I would have to look that up for that exact date.
I would as well. I don't know it off the top of my head.
So it is some information we can get back to Alderman Alk on that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Alderman Alk. I just want to be able to get the information to you. Any other comments or questions on this? All right. I'll entertain a motion to renew the property and liability insurance in the amount of $178,361 and the crime bond insurance in the amount of $645 for a total of $179,006.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
The other thing I want to share with you tonight regarding insurance is I just got word today that our experience mod for April of 2021 is below 1, which is great news for us because we haven't been below 1 for a few years now. So that'll be awesome. That's wonderful news.
Great job, Brandy.
Good.
Thank you for
Yes.
all your work on that.
Thank you. The next thing that I have for you tonight is the agreement with NECAC. We had brought to you a couple meetings ago about doing the little food box out by the drop box on the side of City Hall where they have the drop box at. We were going to do a little food box and NECAC is going to refill that for us. This is that agreement for that box. I have also sent this over to NECAC and they have reviewed it. They are under the agreement that this will be fine. However, the gentleman that has to sign it is not in. He's been out ill with COVID. So this is just brought before you guys for your approval.
This will be a bill later on in the
And
agenda.
there's a bill later.
Okay.
Any questions?
And that's all that I have.
Brandy, I just wanted to be clear, anyone can bring food to the food box, correctly? Is that correct? No, you cannot.
It actually would have to go through NECAC. They can donate to NECAC and then NECAC will fill the box.
Oh, okay. So food can be dropped off at the NECAC office then?
Yes.
Is that
I would
correct?
assume that. I think they're going to want
Yes.
to control, because they're responsible for what goes in there, they're going to want to be the one
Okay.
physically putting the goods into the box.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you, Brandy.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from our finance officer, Dana Belaska.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have before you a list of accounts payable claims for your approval, totaling $426,720.56. Are there any questions related to that list of claims?
Dana, I have one real quick question. On the vendor listing for the Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly, that amount is $28,118.74, but when it goes to the
Yes.
detail, it's $150 difference. In the detail, it's $27,968.74. That's a $150 difference from the listing to the detail.
Mm-hmm. I would have to check on that. There could be two different items in that list. There could be something for, like you say, a smaller amount in addition to the larger one, which is related to the Highway 47 sidewalk project.
Dollars here.
Okay,
There
May I
is,
take a look at
Dana,
that and get-
there's $150 for Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly in grounds and maintenance.
oh, okay,
Highway 47 infield landscape improvement is what it looks like the description is.
okay,
Okay,
great, thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions?
No,
I'll entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $426,720.56.
So moved.
second,
First one I heard was Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Dyer,
yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Go ahead, Dana, on the next item.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the monthly financial report for September. You'll notice that in the general fund that revenues are about $68,000 above budget. Again, primarily related to sales tax, which has been above budget this year. It's running about 18% above in the general fund right now. We've seen the numbers for the October receipts, which are starting to go down a little bit. And we have not, it's early in the month, so we have not seen the November numbers yet to see what trend is going on there. So again, that's $117,000 above budget. Pool's about $25,000 below budget for the aquatic center. And police fines and courts combined is about $55,000 below budget. In the general fund operating expenses, you'll see that they're about $168,000 below budget. A big factor there is our cancellation of the Fall Festival. Also, the pool is about $17,000 below budget on expenses. In the water and sewer fund, you'll notice that the revenue is about $26,000 above budget. This is spread out, pretty evenly across water, sewer, and the industrial sewer. Operating expenses for the water and sewer fund, $73,000 below budget, made up kind of wages for vacancies, and then repairs and supplies that just haven't been spent to date yet this year. Those are the highlights of the September financials. Were there any questions on those financials?
No.
I don't believe so, Dana.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next, we'll hear from Aquatics Director Lisa Kramer.
Good evening. You have in front of you my October report for the pool. One area I'd like to highlight is a new partnership that I have started with the United Healthcare representative. We had an open house in October where we invited the seniors to come to the pool and see what we offered for Silver Sneakers and Renew Active members through United Healthcare and other health insurance plans. And we had 33 attending seniors for that program, of which we signed up 15 new Silver Sneaker and Renew Active members. So that was exciting, and we're looking to do it again next Wednesday. On the 11th, we are going to have a program called Parking Lot Bingo, where we're inviting the seniors to come and play bingo from their cars. We will be socially distanced as they will be in their cars playing bingo, and we'll have prizes for them to win as well. And then as we go through the year, I'm looking to continue this partnership. December, we're planning a campfire, s'more, and sing-along in December. And then a program in January actually using the pool and letting them experience a water fit class and what the pool has to offer. So those are just some highlights that we have going on to continue to bring in seniors into the pool with the low numbers that we're allowed to have right now at the pool. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't believe so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Public Works Director Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Item I have is my monthly report. I'm just giving you an update that all the snow plows and center beds have been installed and checked out, and they're all working properly. Crews are out flushing fire hydrants before winter sets in. We had 2 sewer calls. One was in a private, one was on the city. Did a sewer repair on Clara, and sewer guys walked all the sewer lines and creek crossings, make sure everything's intact for winter. Do you have any questions?
Did we buy any extra salt?
Do we have extra salt?
Yeah.
The salt and that's been ordered. We have the salt.
Okay, don't run out.
Hey, Guy, is that Warrior, the water tower on Warrior Avenue, is that up and active now?
No, sir, right, they installed the pump today. The pump was set at 940 feet. The well was dug at 1,670 feet. We're waiting for the controls. That's the last piece of the puzzle for the controls. And those are ordered, and we're waiting for them to come in. As soon as the electric controls come in, then that'll be installed and we'll be done. So I'm hoping by the end of this month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Guy? Thank you, Guy.
Thank you.
Next be Chief of Police, who I believe has been held up.
So to speak.
Yeah, I shouldn't, I refrain from that. Let me just say,
We have someone filling in for Chief
has been
Ellard.
hindered in traffic, how's that?
Not in traffic, he's actually in quarantine.
Okay, quarantine.
And we have a visitor filling in for him,
Please
as
come.
I understand it.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. I just wanted you to attend in case there were questions.
You see he posted his Kalia letter. Somebody want to read that?
So,
Would you like for me to read the letter?
that'd be great.
Alderman Schultz?
Wonderful for the public to know what our chief's been up to.
Sure. It's dated October 29th, 2020, to Mr. Larry Ellard, Chief of Police. Dear Chief Ellard, we have selected the on-site dates for those agencies anticipating a law enforcement accreditation review at the 2021 CALEA Summer Conference in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Your web-based review will occur during the week of January 15th through 23rd, 2021. Your site-based dates have been established as March 1st through 3rd, 2021. Please contact your assessment coordinator, Kim Krennis-Curl, at extension 51 if you need additional information. Additional information concerning your on-site assessment will be sent in the coming months. We look forward in working with you during this process. Sincerely, W. Craig Hartley, Executive Director. So at the Summer Conference 2021, our police department will officially become CALEA certified.
Very good.
Outstanding.
Huge, huge project that our PD has worked over the last 3 to 4 years and is now coming to fruition and is a major accomplishment for a force of our size.
Long time consuming project.
Absolutely.
Coming to an end. Good.
Any questions on that?
No.
Please.
And they have one policy on, this is another policy related to the CALEA program. It is approval of demonstrations and crowd management policy.
Any questions on that? I will entertain a motion to approve the demonstration and crowd management policy.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Crump. Roll call vote.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Bills ordinance. I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 54-2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance appointing Brandy Walters as the city administrator of the city of Warrenton.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 54-2020.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get a second? Okay. Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance appointing Brandy Walters as the city administrator of the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote.
Before we vote on this,
Before we go, I have a question,
There's-
Mayor. Should there not be a date on there?
it says April of 1st of 2020. Is that supposed to be 2021?
Yes, it is supposed to be
And
2021.
Section 2 should say, shall be full force in effect April 1st, 2021.
So So with the amendments of 2021 on the dates. So, do we need a rereading, or can I just add the amended and have them vote on it?
Why don't we have the board mayor do a voice vote on the amendment?
So having the dates, I'll entertain a motion for amending the dates to 2021 to read consistently with what was discussed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
The amendment motion passes 6-0. Now a roll call vote on the ordinance with the amendment included.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0 with the amendment included.
Congratulations, Brady.
Yes.
Is she still there?
Thank you.
You didn't faint, did you?
Thought maybe she fainted.
Entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 55-2020.
So moved.
Okay. Randy will rely, or Melody will rely on you. All right. Which one of you guys want to go first? It don't matter. We'll go. Okay. Motion made by Alderman Crump. You want to go second? Is that correct, Schultz?
Yes.
Seconded by Alderman Schultz.
An ordinance authorizing execution of an agreement between NECAC and the City of Warrenton, Missouri for a food box.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 55-2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance authorizing execution of an agreement between NECAC and the City of Warrenton, Missouri for a food box.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I will entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Aldermen meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Crump. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned. Thank you, folks.